bring it up because I can't see anything. So, all right, everyone. My name is Draxton. I am the owner of Creative Comics and Collectibles, and we are getting ready to relaunch the Kickstarter in probably about next week or so. And I just wanted to show you guys what's going on, what's happening with the Kickstarter, the actual action figures themselves, and what's going to come with them. Now, we have on our Kickstarter, we're going to have a few small stretch goals, which are just there to show that we have more planned. If we actually do reach them and we go far beyond, we have a lot of stuff that we could add with additional weapon packs. We are still planning, as the first Kickstarter had the females, also the large army pack where you could get a group of generic Barbarian and Vikings that come with a bunch of accessories and things like that, and different heads, different weapons. But right now, what we're doing is we have these two guys, and they're going to come with 2 weapon pieces each. And for this Kickstarter, as soon as it starts up, we're doing the first 100 backers of each category. So the Viking, the Barbarian, and the double. So we'll have 300 backers for the first backers of these. We'll get an extra accessory with them. And that way, we'll see what we could do with these guys. And we'll also be selling the weapons pack separately. So say if you want to have extra weapons for one, or you want to get a bunch of different weapons and do what you want with the guys, you'll be able to buy everything extra. But we're going to be offering the singles and the double pack to start off with. And as you can see, I have the guys right here. Now I have him set up with both of the axes. The articulation is good. Both of the weapons fit nice. We put a lot of detail in these guys, and I was glad when we finally got the prototypes and the first paints and things like that in, because they just look great. Here, let me grab him real quick. So we have a lot of details on him, and everything is really, unique on them. We tried to do as much as we could, and add as many things that we could think of that, would make people, excited about these. And we have a bunch of other things that we could do. So hopefully we'll get up to the point where we could start adding everything that we want to, I would really love to do some unique weapons, clear crystallized weapons and things like that, like energy weapons and things, so we could have clear plastic and things like that going on. I would definitely love to get the females going. I want these guys out and in your guys' collection, and I just want to keep on making more and more. I know we have a lot going on, and I'm really excited about everything we're doing, everything we're making and going to make. And because of collectors and enthusiasts like everyone who's on the page and watching, is what's going to make this happen. And I'm really excited to bring characters to life like this. Working on getting these out, working on getting our first comic run out, and continuing to do more and more. Especially with these guys, since this is an original, this is something that, I came up with, and I talked to a bunch of people that are helping me, and I'm working with, like, my sculptors and things like that. So it was really fun to design these and go back and forth and, you know, talk to the factory and ask them, you know, what's the best way we could do this? What's the best way we could do that? Let's get these figures out to a point where they are perfect. And I worked with them as much as possible, you know, got things back, sent them back, you know, had adjustments, and I just want them to be, you know, a great figure that, you know, stands up to just about anything else that you could have in your collection. Now, I wanted to show you guys on scale what we have here. Now, this is a Marvel Legends, and this is a 6-inch scale, and as you can see, if he'll stand up right, the size comparison. Okay, he's not.
Fix his left foot.
Oh yeah, he's
wrong foot.
Well, they're both a little stiff, but you can see they're the same size. You know, the bodies are a little different. We have, I think, more points of articulation in ours, and we are definitely working on getting more and more things in for the Kickstarter and for the actual figures. Now, a lot of the things that I would love to do is make additional heads. I'd love to make, you know, a lot of additional weapons and a lot of different figures. And a thing that I threw around and I definitely want to make is a few, you know, like mounts and things like that. I would love to see, you know, like a battle scene of, you know, tigers, lions, bears, you know, things like that that I could make that'll be fully articulated, and you could have your figures on, and that way you could, you know, display them in any way you want. There's also, you know, just about anything you could think of, and I would love to get the, you know, the army pack out so I could make, you know, a bunch of different figures for you guys where you could set them up however you want. The other thing I would like to do is maybe make displays, you know, like walls and things like that for these. So you could have castle walls, you could have Viking ships, things like that. And I'd love to produce all of those. And it only takes a step to get there, you know, and that's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to push as much as possible and get my name out there and get these products, figures out there. So, you know, people could see them, people can could display them. And I'm really proud of these. So that's it. You know, I wanted, you know, people to be on here to, you know, talk, to see, to know what's going on, and I definitely wanted to give everyone an update. So we will be going live again probably in about a week or so. We'll definitely be posting exactly when it's going to be going live. We'll start a countdown for you guys so you could follow us. Make sure to click on the link for our Kickstarter, because what that'll do is it will allow you guys to know when we do any updates. So once we start doing anything or posting anything, it'll go to all of you. If you're following the Kickstarter, it'll automatically email you whenever we do any updates. So if you want to be one of the first 100, or 300 actually, or 100 for each category, to get the extra items that we're releasing and things like that, following the page will be the best way, because you'll know exactly when it starts. I'm very happy that I have a lot of interest in this. You know, we just have released the artwork for our figures, which was great, and we had a lot of fun with our artist, you know, and I'm pretty sure we're going to do the artwork on the boxes. We're going to we're going to make them look really good. We want people to know that they're quality, and we're always going to be upgrading. We're going to be working on these as much as possible, adding to them, you know, and we have a lot of stuff down the line that we'll be producing. So as long as, you know, we're moving on, continuing and adding things, we'll definitely, you know, keep on upgrading and giving you guys everything you could think of. What I like to do is I like to interact with the public as much as possible, because I want to know what you guys want. You know, this is a little project for me, and then I have a bunch of other stuff behind the scenes that I'm working on, and I want to know what you guys want. You know, I'm an action figure company. I want to make action figures. And I have all these dreams of all these characters, and I know a lot of them are taken by other companies, but there's a lot that aren't. And I want to know what you guys want, because there's some that I want, and I want to produce them, and there's some that you guys want, and I want to produce what you guys want. And that's going to be the biggest thing. You know, if I could make something that people want, and, you know, people are happy that they get, that is going to make me happy, because I want to know that you have this in your house on display somewhere, and it's something that you really wanted, you know, something that you wanted and waited for, and you could show people and tell them where it's from and what it is and everything like that. So I'm really interested in the quality and, you know, the display and things like that, making sure they move great, making sure they look great. So
what do the first 100 backers get? Well,
the first 100 backers for each of the products, so the normal Barbarian and the normal Viking will come with 2 weapons. The first 100 will come with an additional accessory, a weapon, you know, like we have here. We have, you know, it's a spear. We also have a larger shield. We have additional axes and stuff like that. So we'll be giving an additional accessories with each. And then for the 2-pack, you'll get all 6. So instead of the standard 2-pack, which will get you the Viking and the Barbarian and their 2 accessories, the first 100 will get 6 accessories altogether instead of the 4. And then, like I said, we also have the weapons pack, which is an additional you could get on top, which will come with a bunch of different weapons too. So that way, if you wanted to build your own guy, or like I said, if we do get there and we could give you the group, where you could buy a group of Barbarians or Vikings, you could make them all, get the shield and the spear, and have them all like Spartans and things like that. So you could display them all like they're, you know, guarding a wall or anything like that. And I would really love to see, you know, what people do with these. What?
I just thought of something, but I'm not going to ruin your stream.
Anyone else here?
A lot of people saying the figures look great.
Oh, thank you, everyone. I'm glad. I was really, really happy when I got these in. I mean, if you want here, could you bring this up to the front? So this is our axe. This is our great axe, and you could see that it has the Celtic engravings on it. It has the shadowing on it and things like that. So we went in with a lot of detail. And if you look, I know we posted it on our page. We did some of our the extra weapons pack, which is going to be the one of our stretch goals, and they're highly detailed weapons. They are hammers, axes, shields, all kinds of things. And from there, if we do keep going, I would love to do like clear plastic weapons and things like that. So we could do like energy, magic weapons, things. I'd love to see that come out. And then additional things, like I said, it was like I'd love to see additional heads and things like that. So depending on how far we go is how much more I could get for you guys. Any other things?
Any update on the Cassian Blue Beetle?
Okay, so for the Cassian Blue Beetle, we are in the final stages. They started the manufacturing process, so they're going through everything. They're going to be finishing. It's going to take them a little time to go through everything because there was a few things we had to rework on the tools. Once we got the few things in, we had to send them back to make sure, so that way everything's perfect on them. So it delayed it a little bit, but they're in the process. They're rolling, you know, and I hope to get them out very, very soon. If anything else comes up, which it shouldn't, I'll make sure to tell everyone. But right now, everything's rolling. It's a little slow because of everything that's going on right now. You know, there's a lot of delays, and it's not just us and the factory and things like that, but it's just all over. So it's taking a little more time, but they are in the process. They're going, and I can't wait to get them out to everyone. Any other comments?
Let's see. Valkyrie, blah blah blah. Jason said a Valkyrie would be fine too. Mike Rogers said a Berserker.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe a guy inspired by Conan and war paint variants.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing we're going to do. If we keep on going and we hit those stretch goals, I want to make variants of everything. I want to make customized ones. As you can see, from our last Kickstarter, we actually had a customized pledge where we would customize one for you. And what we would do is we'd get our sculptor to, you know, make, if you want, we could have your face made for one of them. We could have, you know, different paints and things like that. I definitely want to come out with a blood splatter one, maybe a blood splatter weapon pack, you know, anything like that I definitely want to make. And depending on what we get in the comments, how far we get on the Kickstarter, I want to make all of that. So we could have different color armor, we could have different color weapons. Like I said, with the energy weapons, the clear plastic weapons, I think would look amazing and would be great for a collection because you could just add them to anything. But I definitely want to get some variants out there too. So yes, if we get that far, if our Kickstarter does great and it keeps going, I want to make as much as I can for you guys. And what Jason said with the Valkyries, I want the female figures done. I want to get them done, and I hope we could get that far, because if we do, I have a few female characters in line, and then we could add more details and get as much as we can out. And I'd love to keep on adding more and more for you guys. The more I could make for you, the more you'll have, and you'll be able to see and collect and things like that. And I know if we don't get it in this Kickstarter, what I could always do is I could go back and I could work with the factory, and I could, you know, get as much done as possible, and then come back with maybe another Kickstarter, or maybe I could get it all done at once, my own, and get the female figures done for you guys. If I could get enough interest, I would do anything you guys need. Anything else on there?
Glenn said they look awesome, and the details on the weapon's amazing. Ronnie wanted to know what the one on the left was called. And
okay, so I'm pretty sure we have Gren and Red. Now, these are the two, I guess we'd say the champions of the two groups. So these are going to be the special ones. So these are the main characters of the two factions, because we have, you know, Vikings versus Barbarians. And what we're going to do is, from here on, we're going to add, like I said, if we get the army pack, we're going to have 4 unique, different looking Vikings, 4 different unique looking Barbarians, with an assortment of, you know, different accessories and things like that, that when you get it, you get to put them, you know, make sure this guy has this head or this, and just that way, you know, they all don't look the same. You know, I want there to be all kinds of different things. And the other thing that I was really thinking of, and I hope we get that far, is I would definitely like to make like a cowl or a robe or like a bearskin cape for these guys. You know, just so it has like the fur cape that you see in all the movies and things like that. I want to bring that, like, that gladiator, that, you know, that Game of Thrones, all the old, you know, classic looks to life. You know, I want there to be, you have a character you want, you could make them any way you want. I want to just add as much as possible to these guys. Anything else we have?
Mon Ra says these look pretty great. Bearskin cape would be sweet. And Mike Rogers says, I've been wanting action figures like these for so long.
Well, I'm glad that, you know, I could make these for you guys. I'm really excited with these. I definitely want to get more stuff out, like, you know, extra belts, you know, different helmets and things like that. It's really exciting working on something like this, and I just want everyone to see it and, you know, see how much I'm trying to put into it to get them out, and to, you know, make everyone happy when they do come out. And I, like you said, with the bearskin cape, or, you know, like a cowl or anything like that, I'd love to see that, and we'd put, like, you know, a chain on it so you could just put it around the neck and it would hold there. Just things like that, you know. And those little details are what I love. Especially, like, I love action figures. I've been collecting action figures all my life. I have hundreds of action figures in, you know, in my shed, my basement, my house, all over the place. And then I also, whenever I see something, you know, like, oh, I really wish this figure was made, or I really wish this character was made, I go and I look at what I could do to maybe make it. If it's a character that I like and I want them in my collection, I will try to make that. And it's the details that you could add to it is what makes these characters come to life. And I love just being able to see when I had an idea, put it to paper, talk to people, and they come out like this, you know. And I really, really want to make more stuff for everyone. Anything else on there? Sorry, I have someone else reading me all the comments because I can't see my own phone right now because you guys are on it. So
Jason said, so I heard about a comic. Is that regarding the? I'm like in the dark.
I'm not too sure. I think they're I think what we're doing is I know we had artists draw the images for these guys, and I think we are in talks about the comic about making one possibly. And I'd love to have something like that, just so you could actually have like a background on these characters, and you know, you get to see them in action, and that way, you know, it brings them more to life. Having an action figure of someone that you don't know, I mean, they look great. I love these action figures, but when you get to know their background, get to know how they act, how they talk, and what they do, it really brings them to life. And that way, when you have them in your collection, you could think, you know, I have this guy because, you know, I like who he is, I like how he acts, I like how he looks, you know, and that really brings a character to life. And that's one of the main reasons for action figures. You know, all those action figures that are out there, the reason why you like them is because you like that character. You know, you want that character in your house. You want that character there on display because that character means something to you. You know, having a comic of these guys is awesome because that means you get to read and look into the characters and know how they act, how cool they are. And then it makes you even want the figure more.
Ronnie said she loves the cape idea.
Anything else on there?
That's it.
That's it for now?
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys, I'm glad that you like the figures. You know, we have a lot of details on these guys. As you can see, we have the bear claws on here. He's even got a dagger. He's got the chest harness and everything on there. His ponytail. He's got moccasins. You know, we have the belts on here. We did as much as we could to make these guys look awesome for you guys. Even on this guy, he doesn't really need the stand, but he's a little top heavy with the shield. But as you can see, you know, he's got different boots on. He's got, you know, different, you know, the different belt and the design and the details in the belt with the skull. He's got the harness on with the chains. You know, we really went into detail on these guys, and that was the major thing that I wanted to do, is I wanted to add as much detail as possible and get these guys to look cool, you know, because that's what you're looking for. When you get an action figure, you want it to be cool. So that's definitely what it is. And like I said, all the additional weapons like these, you know, these came out really cool. I love how they look. The bigger shield, you know, that's really, it's just intimidating. And I'd love to make the other things that we have planned. You know, there's a lot of other weapons and armor and things like that I want to get out and I want to add to this. So, you know, thanks for the support. I hope you guys love these. I hope you guys want these. And I want to just keep on producing for you. So, anything else on there?
Just people tagging other people.
Okay, great. I'm glad that a lot of people are looking at this and coming out and wanting to see what I have to say. And I'm glad that this is going. I'm getting this back on Kickstarter for you guys. The first time I launched it, it was kind of a rush job. I really wanted to get it out there, and looking back, I should have just took a little more time, spent a little more time waiting to get everything in, because the prototypes were in production and things like that. Now that I actually have the figures and I could show you guys firsthand how they look, how cool they are, this is gonna hopefully push it further, so you guys know what's coming out. And like I said, I want to just add more and more to it. So the more support I get from you guys, the more I could build for you. And that's my biggest goal. I want to make as much as I can for everyone. And that's why I started this company. And that's why I want to make more. Because if I can make something you want, then I'll do it. And if I get enough people that want things, I'll make anything. So I'm glad you guys are out. You're visiting me. You're listening to me. And, well, like I said, I'll tell you guys when the Kickstarter is going to start. I will notify everyone. But again, everyone, click on the link in the post that I'm in. It will bring you to our pre-Kickstarter page. Now, that's not the Kickstarter itself. It's just a pre-page. and all it has is our name, and it has a follow button. Please follow us. If you follow us, what will happen is anytime we post anything, any updates, it'll automatically tell you that we're updated. When we start the Kickstarter, it'll automatically tell you. If you want to be one of the first 100 on the three categories, that's the best way, because it'll notify you as soon as we launch. Other than that, keep watching the page about the other figures. We have the Cassie and the Blue Beetle. Those are in the process right now. Any other updates will be on the page. And we have a bunch in store too. We have a bunch of additional stuff that we're working on. So as soon as we know more about that, I'll be posting that too. So thank you everyone for coming out. Is there any other comments on there? Anyone else?
Ronnie, I'll send you a link to the Kickstarter.
Okay, yeah. And for anyone who doesn't have the link for the Kickstarter, on the previous post I made, there is a link right there. On the previous, actually, I think 3 links, or 3 posts I made have the link on it. All you do is you click on that. It'll jump to the Kickstarter page. It'll show our border, our big title picture, and it'll say follow. That's going to be the best way there. And then you do have to log into Kickstarter for it to work, so if you don't have one, that's the best way to do it. Make one right there. Thank you, everyone. If you have any other questions, post them. I'll try to go through Facebook and I'll answer as much as I can for everyone. And if you have any suggestions, if you have any ideas, if you have anything you want to talk about, just post it right online. That goes directly to my personal Facebook. I see all the messages from everyone at all times. Let me know, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. Thank you very much.